Thank you, John, and Governors Weinstein and Crocker, thank you for being here. It's an honor today to recognize the superb work of Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty's Special Service for Crimea, a highly deserving recipient of the 2016 David Berka Award. The service is known locally as Krym.Realii, or Crimea Realities. It's led by the intrepid Volodymyr Petula. Other leading team members are Pavel Kazarin, Alexander Yakovsky, Katerina Nekricha, Anna Andrievska, and Stas Yurchenko. Crimea Realities is a lifeline for audiences in Crimea cut off from reliable local news since Russia annexed the territory. Crimea Realities also serves audiences everywhere who want to know what's happening on the peninsula. Today we recognize the dedicated journalists, editors, producers, and technicians behind Krym.Realii. Crimea Realities operates in 3 languages, Russian, Ukrainian, and Crimean Tatar. It launched just 2 short months after the annexation, an example of responding to events on the ground with vision and speed. The 40-member team produces programming for television and radio. For the year ending in September, the Crimea Realities website logged 21 million visits and 46 million page views. People watch the team's videos on YouTube 11 million times. Because of their work, some of our Crimea Realities colleagues have suffered intimidation and threats, as you saw earlier. The website's been blocked by many Crimean ISPs, forcing viewers to connect by other means, and they do. 9 Crimea Realities journalists were forced to leave Crimea with their families. Journalist Mykola Simina, who is still in Crimea, is under criminal investigation. Russian authorities have charged him with extremism for his work. He's currently under house arrest in Simferopol, denied the right to leave the peninsula to receive medical care. Here's a video that tells us more about the people and work of Krym.Realii.
The events of early 2014 changed the destiny of Ukraine and many Ukrainians. The occupation and annexation of Crimea influenced journalists' lives as well. In the first days of occupation, all Ukrainian TV channels in Crimea were switched off. Journalists became targets for violence. Pro-Russian paramilitary groups threatened and kidnapped civic activists and journalists. It was in these conditions that Crimea Realities, a project of Radio Liberty, was created. Its journalists came under pressure from the Russian security services from the very start. Because of threats and criminal prosecution, around 20 Crimea Realities journalists were forced to leave the peninsula, and 20 more journalists stopped working with the project, many leaving their profession entirely because of the pressure from the Russian authorities.
Частина з них була змушена покинути Кримський півострів, і зараз вони працюють на території материкової України. І частина залишаються і працюють, мужньо працюють в Криму, фактично в підпіллі, але вони продовжують виконувати свої професійні обов'язки.
In April 2016, agents of the Russian Federal Security Service carried out searches at the houses of 7 Crimean journalists suspected of working with Crimea Realities. A criminal case was opened against Mykola Simina, a writer for Radio Liberty. The Federal Security Service continues to persecute him for his writings on the Crimea Realities website.
Вже більше 2 років в Криму встановлено тотальний жорсткий контроль російської спецслужби. І в зв'язку з цим немає свободи слова, і вільна і чесна журналістика вже загнана в підпілля.
Сьогодні існує вже декілька кримінальних справ стосовно кримських журналістів, які переслідуються саме за свою професійну діяльність.
Crimea Realities is now one of the most popular Crimean websites, publishing news and articles in Ukrainian, Russian and Crimean Tatar languages. It's visited by nearly 1.5 million people every month. What started in September 2015 as a radio broadcast is now a website, a radio show and a TV program for Crimeans.
We would like to thank you for this award.
This is a high appraisal of our work.
It supports and inspires us.
It will help us carry out Radio Liberty's mission with dignity and professionalism.
In spite of pressure, blockades, threats and criminal proceedings
against our journalists, we continue our work in Crimea and for Crimea.
Because Crimeans have the right to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Спасибо.
Çok sağ ol.
Дякуємо. Thank you.